Welcome to Lucid, a thought experiment in consciousness. I'm going to ask you to do something unusual today. I'm going to ask you to suspend what you know or what you think you know about reality. Not forever, just for the length of this conversation. This is a thought experiment. That means that we're going to accept 5 presuppositions, 5 what-ifs, and follow them to their logical conclusions. You do not have to believe any of this. You do not have to accept anything as truth. Just hold it. Hold it lightly, play with it, and see where it leads. Here are our 5 presuppositions. Consciousness is primordial. It comes first before matter. All is metaphor. Reality is a symbolic meaning. You, I, everything that exists is source. All that is. The conscious self, what you know as the ego, is a partner in creation. And all of this is driven by value fulfillment. Today, we're going to explore the first one. Consciousness is primordial. So let's begin with a simple question. Who breathes while you're asleep? No, really, this is the question. I want you to think about this right now. You can choose to take a breath. You can hold it. You can breathe faster or slower. You are in control. But tonight, when you're in a deep sleep, completely unconscious to the waking world, who is breathing then? Your lungs keep working in and out and in and out, taking breaths in a perfect rhythm. You don't think about it. You're not really aware of it. The you that thinks and chooses is offline. So who is doing it? Here's another question. How does your heart know to beat? 70 times a minute, roughly, faster when you exercised, slower when you rest. It adjusts to what you need without you knowing how it does it. You can't consciously control your heart the way you can control your hand. And yet it beats perfectly, constantly, for your entire life. So who is managing that? Let's go a little bit deeper. When you cut your finger, who heals it? You don't know how to knit skin cells back together. You don't know how to form a scab, and you don't know how to close the wound or how to remove the scab when it's time. You just do. Well, rather, your body does. There is some sort of intelligence that is operating here. An intelligence that knows how to orchestrate trillions of cells. An intelligence that manages your immune system, your digestion, your temperature regulation, even your hormone levels. An intelligence that does 1,000 things simultaneously while the you that you think you are is thinking about what to have for lunch. So here's the question. Is that intelligence less than you or more than you? Okay, stay with me. Let's shift to dreams now. Your nighttime dreams. Last night you probably had several dreams. You may or may not remember them. But in those dreams, you experienced an entire world. There were places, there were people, there were events, there were even emotions. Now, where did that world come from? Your consciousness generated it. Okay. Out of what? Well, nothing. There was no physical materials. There was just consciousness creating experience. In your dream, you might have been walking through a city. That city felt real. The buildings were there. Other people were there. Maybe you talked to them. Maybe they surprised you with what they said. Here is what I want you to notice. In the dream, what came first? The dream world or your awareness of it? Your awareness had to come first because the dream world didn't exist until your consciousness generated it. The buildings weren't out there independent of you, they were consciousness taking form. Your consciousness creating an experience for itself. Now, here is where it gets interesting. If your consciousness can generate an entire reality in your dreams, complete with space and time and other characters, physical sensations, emotions, what is to say it's not doing the same thing right now? What if the only difference between sleeping, dreams, and waking reality is that we've agreed to take this dream more seriously? What if it's the same mechanism, just sustained or shared? Okay, I know what you're thinking, but the real waking world is real. It's solid. Other people can confirm it, and it follows consistent rules. Well, does it though? Or does your consciousness generate your experience of it being solid? Your experience of other people? Your experience of consistent rules? In your nighttime dreams, the dream world feels real while you're in it. It follows rules. It has dream logic, but there's still rules. And you encounter other characters who seem to have their own minds until you wake up and realize they were all you. So, if consciousness generates reality, if consciousness is primordial, meaning it comes first, then we need a framework, a way to understand what we're talking about. So let's use the dream as our model. When you dream, there are actually multiple levels happening simultaneously. First, there's the capacity to dream at all, the ground, the source. Let's call this source, primordial consciousness itself, the field from which all experiences arises. Second, there is the individuated dreamer, the specific consciousness that's having this dream, not some other dream. This is you as a distinct point of awareness. Now, let's call this the entity, an individuated consciousness, still non-physical but specific. This is the dreamer. Now, third, there's the dream character and their world, the body you're walking around in within the dream, the environment that you are experiencing, and the conscious awareness you have within the dream itself. Let's call this the soul, which contains both the physical/corporeal form and the conscious experience happening through that form. And finally, within the soul level, there's the part that thinks it's separate, the character who believes they're just this person in this body, in this world, unaware they are being dreamed. Let's call this the conscious self, or what we often call the ego. So with this, we have a structure for our thought experiment. First, we have source, which is the primordial consciousness, the capacity to dream at all. We have an entity, which is the individuated dreamer. We have the soul, which is the dream character plus their dream world, both the body and the awareness experiencing it. And the conscious self, the part that thinks it's separate, that thinks it's just the character. Now, here is what is crucial. These are not separate things. They're nested levels of the same consciousness. The entity is source experiencing itself through individuation. The soul is an entity experiencing itself through form. The conscious self is the soul experiencing itself through the illusion of separation. Now, remember our opening question. Who breathes while you sleep? Well, now we can answer it. The soul does. The soul, that deeper level of consciousness that is connected to entity and source, is running the body. It's managing the heartbeat, it's orchestrating healing, it's maintaining the whole system. The conscious self, the you, that thinks and chooses and believes it's in charge, is actually a specialized focus within the soul. So you are like the dream character who thinks they're running the show, unaware of the actual dreamer. But the soul is always there. It's always breathing you. It's always beating your heart. It's always communicating through your bodily sensations, your emotions, your gut feelings, your intuitions. So, with that, the question becomes, are you listening? So here is what I'm proposing in this thought experiment. What if consciousness doesn't emerge from matter, from brains and neurons firing? What if matter emerges from consciousness? What if you are not a body that somehow produces awareness, but awareness that has generated a body to experience through? What if the same intelligence that breathes while you are asleep, that beats your heart, that heals your wounds, what if that intelligence is also generating the world that you perceive? What if physical reality is consciousness using the same mechanism that your nighttime dreams use, just sustained and shared and densely patterned? What if you, the real you, exists at multiple levels simultaneously, as source, as entity, as soul, as a conscious self? And what if the game, the whole point, is for the conscious self to wake up within the dream, to realize you're not just a character. You are also the dreamer and the capacity to dream. All of it. This is just the beginning. In our next episode, we'll explore the second presupposition. All is metaphor. If reality is consciousness expressing itself, then everything you experience is symbolic, meaningful, and communicating something. Your body is speaking. Events are speaking. Coincidences are speaking. The question is, can you learn the language? For now, just sit with this. Who breathes while you sleep? And what if the same consciousness is dreaming your entire world into being? This is Lucid, a thought experiment in consciousness. Thank you for exploring with me.